Hello guys, Brett here again with another fragrance review. Today I want to talk about a fragrance from the house of Hugo Boss. This one is called Invincible Bergamot from the collection. It's an Eau De Parfum Intense. This is just a small little sample that I got off of eBay. The notes listed in this fragrance are top notes of bergamot, heart notes of citrus fruits, and in the base we have leather. And I've seen another website that mentioned lavender, vetiver, patchouli, amyris, pink pepper, and limonol. But I think from what I'm detecting here, I think you pretty much get the gist just from those three listed notes of the bergamot, citrus fruits, and leather. Now, I didn't really know anything about this fragrance until I saw Steven from Red Essence talk about it on his channel. He mentioned it in two different videos. One video was about Creed Aventus alternatives, and another video was talking about his most worn fragrances of 2025. So when I heard about this Invincible Bergamot and that it was sort of Hugo Boss's version of Creed Aventus, I thought it'd be fun to check out. It does seem to me though that the whole Aventus clone thing is sort of played out by now. And another thing that's weird is that usually when a fragrance house clones Aventus, the purpose is to save you a lot of money. Like maybe a clone would cost $30, and maybe Aventus would cost you like $300. But this fragrance, from what I can tell, is like $325. So you could actually buy a bottle of Creed Aventus Absolute for like cheaper than the Hugo Boss fragrance, which is basically sort of a uninspired, not even a spectacular dupe of Aventus. So let me get into my impressions here. Now, when you first spray this one on, it is pretty nice. I mean, you do get that nice citrus opening. It's saying bergamot and some fruits. So I'm getting like a nice uplifting orange and lemon here, maybe some bergamot. But in the background, you do pick up on that leathery smell. It's kind of like an animalic leather type smell. I would say more of like a rawhide or dark leather, even though in the picture it says more of a suede leather. But yeah, for me it's sort of a dark leather, black leather. I remember Steven said that he thought it was more of like a moss or oak moss smell. So I'm actually getting more of a leather smell myself. I could see maybe a touch of patchouli, maybe a touch of moss in there, but I think there's definitely leather here. So leathery and citrusy, and you can see how that could be construed as an Aventus clone because Aventus used birch tar, which kind of has a leathery smell, and it had the pineapple, which was a citrus smell. But personally, I think pineapple and birch tar are a bit more interesting than bergamot, lemon, oranges, and leather. Maybe a bit smokier when you talk about Aventus, at least the older batches that I was used to smelling. But yeah, this one's okay, but for $325, really, it's really not worth it. If you want to spend maybe $10 on eBay to get a sample and check it out, especially if you're into that whole Aventus clone game that a lot of people see me playing, where they try to find the best clones of Aventus, usually for the cheaper prices, probably less than $50. But yeah, this one, yeah, $325. That's even more than what is supposed to be inspired by, which doesn't make sense to me. I do think Hugo Boss makes some great fragrances. I'd probably rather buy 12 of their designers than one bottle of this one. Like I get In Motion and maybe stuff like that. Even get a brand new bottle of the limited edition. Was it Pacific? Yeah, which had like that coconut smell to it. That one was pretty nice too. But yeah, this one, yeah, it's okay. But yeah, it really doesn't have that unique factor, and it's not really worth the asking price. And let me get into my final scores here. The smell 7 out of 10. It's a nice smell. I mean, but yeah, it's just not very inspired. Projection longevity. I mean, I didn't try to overdo it here because I know Creed Aventus is a strong fragrance. So I wasn't sure how much performance I was going to get here. So I just did a few sprays from my sample here. So I'm going to say 3 to 5 hours, 7 out of 10. Versatility, 7 out of 10. A darker vibe here, even though it's citrusy. More of that leather really starts to come out as it dries down. So yeah, I'm going to say more of a fall-winter fragrance. Uniqueness, 5 out of 10. Certainly, I agree that it is Hugo Boss's clone of Aventus. Price point, 100 ml, $325. If you can find it. Sometimes it's kind of hard to find, I think, because maybe it is limited edition and limited stock. Overall, for me, though, I'm going to say 7 out of 10, and that doesn't factor in the price point. Just based on the overall effect here, 7 out of 10, but definitely don't see this fragrance being worth more than about $50 or $60. So there you go, Invincible Bergamot from the house of Hugo Boss. Check it out, maybe get a sample. Thanks for watching. I'll talk to you guys later.